And how do you describe what you do? I've seen it called musical stand-up. Does that capture the act, or was there another way you like to describe it?
No, I guess there's a lot of, it's to me, it's, see, what I've done with comedy, what I felt is that I bring it into doing it with impressions. So it combines comedy, impressions, music, and just those elements to make it another, what is it? It's kind of like, it's an ingredient. Those are ingredients to make the best salad possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I'm using all those elements as opposed to just straight stand-up comedy. I'm using impressions and I'm using music. Everything that I do has an angle to it and a twist to it, and I find that there's gold there. When you can match that up, it really makes an audience entertained, and that's my goal. The goal for me is to make them entertained and laugh as hard as they can. So that and me changing the words really helps, and coming up with those little angles. To me, that's what I get the biggest kick out of it.
So how many impressions do you squeeze into the show? It seems like it's very, quick-paced. Yeah,
it's very clear. I think it's over 65.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on average. I mean, it might have been in days.
And how long is the show going to be?
A year ago, it might have been 45, but now it's up to 65 around.
Oh, okay.
The show is going to be an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay. And, when did you discover you had this talent for mimicking other people? Is it something you've been doing from, childhood, or was it something you discovered later?
I was 23. Yeah, I started at 23. And I was, I guess I was working, I already, when I was in a band and stuff, we had done some Elvis numbers. And I'd always been a huge fan, still am, of Elvis. So Elvis was my first impression, and that was 16 years old. But I never really thought of it as that until like 23. I saw Rich Little perform, and I said, I'm going to learn other people.
And so when you try to figure out a voice, like say Jack Nicholson seems like one of your main voices you do. Where do you start? Is it the facial expression? Is it the voice itself, or?
Yeah, I try and find just whatever's going to grab you, and there could be a tone in their voice, so I get the tone set. Then there's a way you can pick at certain phrases, the way they say certain things. And those are the things that are standing out. And if I notice those things that stand out, I'll gravitate towards learning that first. And then when you get all that, you start putting them together, and those strong elements you put in whatever it is that you're going to write for that character. You still put in those rhythms of the way that they speak. But I think tone is number one. Like Morgan Freeman is my latest voice, but forever I couldn't get it, and I couldn't get my voice there. But now I have. My name is Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I did a great movie, Shawshank Redemption, and he came to prison back in 1947. So that roughness and once I started to get the gravel in his voice, that really helped. And then by just learning that gravel stuff, it taught me, even other voices that have that in it. So it's it was interesting to me because I never worked from that place before, where, you'd never done that part of your voice before, and then you say, hey, there's a couple other characters, that are around that area as well. So it's awesome. You're always learning.
And are you doing any women these days?
In the show, I'm doing Captain Hepburn, Cher, Tracy Chapman, Alanis Morissette. I've got stuff for them in the show. Macy Gray makes an appearance from time to time.
And I also noticed that you really, you're a hard worker on stage. You're really covering a lot of ground with your movement. Is that, do you have a choreographer, or do the characters sort of inspire you to move in a certain way, or?
Exactly. It's inspired definitely by the characters. And then overall, everything as a performer. I'm using anything that I can as a performer to entertain, but it all has to be felt naturally, like pass through my soul, and then this is what you get. So it's kind of instinctively through my soul, but knowing that, as an entertainer, you want to entertain. So I find that there's, I get this energy through me, and that's how I express it.